In Dungeons & Dragons, every magic user works a little bit differently, so I'm going to start breaking these down for you. So today, we're talking about wizards. Welcome back, fellow Game Masters. I'm Richard Quiner, and welcome back to Spell Slinging Saturday. As I mentioned briefly in my Wednesday video, every spellcasting class works slightly differently, so we need to understand each one for what it is. Today we're talking about wizards. Why wizards? Because I picked them first. Now, understanding wizards, you gotta understand where their magic comes from, and for them, they don't have any innate special abilities, they don't have any special connection to the unknown arcane powers. They just read a lot of books and study really hard. Think of it this way, being able to learn something quickly is a skill, and that's what wizards do best. They learn quickly. They can read, they can understand what they're reading, and absorb knowledge from all the different books around them. So let's talk a little bit more about the rules behind being a wizard. Wizards rely, as I mentioned, on study and reading and understanding in order to learn the spells and magic, and because of that, their main spellcasting ability is their intelligence. So if you remember our ability score episode where we talked about intelligence and modifiers and such, that intelligence score is going to come into play. It will determine your spell attack bonuses and your spell save difficulty challenges, depending on the spell you cast. So keep that in mind. As a wizard, you want to be smart. You want the highest intelligence you can get. Now, as a wizard, you start off the game knowing and understanding 3 cantrips. Cantrips are the level 0 spells. They're the ones you don't need to study to understand. You just know them. And for a wizard, probably because you just studied them so much that you got those ones down. Those are your cantrips. Wizards, because they love books, they also keep all their spells in a book. They keep a spell book. It's pretty cool. And at a start, a wizard can have 6 level 1 spells in their spell book. Do they get more later on in the game? Absolutely. As you level up as a wizard, you can add 2 more spells to your spell book that can be of any level that you have spell slot access to. So for an example of that, if you're a level 3 wizard, you can finally add 2 level 2 spells to your spell book if you would like. Another fun part about wizards is you can find spells in the world as you're playing. This is largely, relies on the DM giving you this information, giving you opportunities, and you looking for opportunities, but you can find ways to find magic, copy them to your book, and use those later on. So it is a whole process, though. It does cost some money, some time and effort, so you gotta think wisely. If you really want to get a spell in your book, you can do that, but it's gonna cost you. So I also mentioned on Wednesday a little thing called preparation. Now, wizards prepare spells a certain way, and here is how. First, you're going to take your wizard's level. So if you're a level 3, 3. Then you're going to take your intelligence ability modifier and add that to your wizard level. So if you're a wizard level 3 and your intelligence modifier is +4, that will equal 7, and that is how many spells you can have prepared at one time. Changing a list of spells is another process all its own, where after a long rest, the wizard may take their time to restudy and understand new spells and keep those in their mind for the day. It does take a little time reading through the spells and learning the hand movements and memorizing these things, but it's a relatively quick way to switch between spells compared to other classes, so keep that in mind. You can prepare your spells after every long rest if you would like. For wizards, rituals are pretty straightforward. As long as it's in your book, you can cast it as a ritual if it's a ritual tagged item. It will take you 10 minutes because you're going to have to sit there and read the book and cast the spell as you're reading along, but that is also an option. It can save you some spell slots and some preparation slots on that as well. And the last neat thing about wizards is they have a thing called Arcane Recovery. At level 1, they are able to recover a certain amount of expended spell slots depending on their level. How this works is after a short rest, the wizard needs to do a little bit of math, and then they can recover some spell slots. The math that this requires is you are going to take your wizard level, divide that by half, then you can recover spell slots whose combined strength or level equals that number or less. So for an example, if you are a level 6 wizard, half of your level would be 3. That means you can recover 3 level 1 spell slots, 1 level 3 spell slot, or 1 level 1 spell slot and 1 level 2 spell slot. So you have some options here. All of those combinations add up to 3. Really neat feature on the wizards. Wizards at later levels can specialize on different schools of magic and become even more powerful if they focus in on one of them at a time. These are their School of Magic for wizards, so that is another ability they have. They get just special bonuses when they use that specific School of Magic, which makes for great specialty wizards. You can have a Divination wizard or a Conjuration wizard. They're both going to play a little bit differently, but they will get bonuses in those specific magic schools. I hope this has explained wizards a little bit more for you. Wizards, like I said, can become one of the most powerful spellcasting classes through their intense reading and study. I hope this has helped. If you liked the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, hit the subscribe button down below, and thank you for watching. I've been Richard Quiner, and we'll see you next time.